Dr. Melissa Cottle, and this is Dr. Mel's Message. Today I have a children's book author with us, and he's got a little interesting tale to tell himself. And his book, The Adventurous Squirrels of Cool Waters Cove, is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. So let's welcome our today's author, Steve Whysel. Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm great, and I hope you are as well.
I am doing great, and I want to thank you, number one, for coming aboard and agreeing to this interview, because I just think your book is just absolutely adorable.
Thank you.
How'd you come up with the idea?
It probably goes back 55 years ago when my kids were small. I loved to tell them stories extemporaneously. And my wife always read the children's books, but I love to make up stories, and they seem to enjoy them as well. And then skip forward another 20 years, and I started doing that with grandchildren. And then we came to the coronavirus, gave me some more downtime. And I said, it's time. Put one of these in writing and leave something tangible for my kids and grandkids.
Why a squirrel?
It seems the majority of my stories always involve some kind of animal. Usually I made up an animal that didn't exist, but it was cute. And I thought, and I love squirrels. And as a matter of fact, again, I may sound a little off the chart, but I've spoken to squirrels. And I have a little nickname amongst family and friends as the Squirrel Whisperer.
Okay, how do you speak to squirrels? This I have to know.
Well, I can mimic just about every animal that there is. When I hear the sound, that was a little gift that I've been given in my genes, and also in regular slacks as well as jeans. But anyway.
Let me hear the squirrel sound. I got to hear it. I mean. Wow.
Now, I don't know if the squirrel who was speaking to me was romantically inclined and was calling for a mate, but I answered.
Wow. So you're literally the Dr. Dolittle of reality.
Thank you. I love that description.
Yeah, I do too. And, it's kind of funny because in my backyard, we have this one squirrel that has been with us forever, it seems like, and it runs up and down my fence, and it literally plays with my cats, like cat chasing each other.
Oh.
And they'll run and stop, and they'll turn around and look at my cat, and then my cat wants to creep up on it, and just as it gets there and starts to pounce, that squirrel makes that noise and just takes up, like out of nowhere, up something and gone, So
I love that when different types of animals play, and that I have that interaction in the circus in my book as well.
All right. What we're going to do real quick is we're going to play the video trailer for it for everyone to see. So stand by, and this is the Adventurous Squirrels of Cool Waters Cove. So let's take a look.
The Adventurous Squirrels of Cool Waters Cove by 81-year-old Stephen Whysel and illustrated by 15-year-old Quinn Chavez. This book teaches that diversity can be awesome and that practice builds confidence. Chapter 1: Getting Ready. In a big forest village called Happyland, USA, inside a giant oak tree lived a family of famous adventurous squirrels. Sir Daddy Had and Sweet Peanuts raised two wonderful little girl squirrels. Big Sister Gems had the curliest tail you have ever seen. And her sister Pie had the tiniest nose. Excitement bubbled from each of them when they joined the most famous animal circus in the world, Poppy's Amazing Animal Circus. Tomorrow is the first day of the big show. So today, the squirrel family would soon practice their tricks, falls, slips and flips, and their amazing squirrels on the high wire act. Before they went out to practice, they had to have breakfast. They asked their mommy to make their favourite. She called it the Forest Breakfast Special. It contained acorns, walnuts, and a special nut that is very hard to find. This tasty nut, shaped like a little chicken egg, was called an egg nut. To be continued. The Adventurous Squirrels of Cool Waters Cove is available online at Amazon.com or at your local bookstore. Follow these fun-loving squirrels at www.swhyseladventuroussquirrels.art.
It's too adorable. It really is an amazing little book. And you're an amazing man as well. Now, I was listening to the trailer, and tell me about your illustrator.
After I wrote the book, I needed naturally to find an illustrator. I didn't know how to go about it, so I sort of went about it like I've done some other things, and I just put a listing on Craigslist. And within 2-3 hours, I got a response. And I explained a little bit about what our relationship would be financially and what I required, about 12 to 15 illustrations. And apparently the person was interested. They said they would send me 1 or 2 illustrations with squirrels. And I gave him a week to provide that for me. Naturally, or not naturally, but it did happen that about an hour after his call, I received a call from another person out of the country interested. During the next 3-4 days, there were 6 other calls from all over the country and the world. And I told them that I was giving this first person a week to show me and that I would get back to them if I wasn't satisfied. But I thought his drawings, I didn't know if it was a him or a her. The name was Quinn. And I said, wonderful. I love your work, and let's get on with it. And I provided an agreement. I said naturally that I wouldn't want just his signature. I really needed his parents' signature because the voice sounded young. So I asked, how old are you? And he said 15, which, I was taken aback basically because the quality of the work looked professional, mature.
Right.
He said that he's been doing this nonstop as his hobby and his love for the past 5 years, digital art. And this is what he wanted to do professionally for the rest of his life. And so we ended up with a combination of an 81-year-old and a 15-year-old working together. And the end result, most people say, looks good.
It's fabulous. And just to think that, you just hit it right, on the spot. A 15-year-old illustrator and an 81-year-old man comes together on Craigslist. Now that could go wrong every which way but loose.
Right.
But in this context, it's a beautiful relationship that is formed.
Yep. We're even talking about my idea for the next book, but that's to be continued also.
Wow. I love it. You've given us so much hope. Now, the book is available on Amazon. And anybody that's wanting to have more information or find out more information from you, they can by going to your website, which again is your name, SWYSEL, adventuroussquirrels.com. So they can go through the website and they can see some of these gorgeous illustrations. Again, people, this is 15-year-old is doing these illustrations. It's just marvelous, and it's just as cute as it can be. Also take the time to follow this creative duo. On the website, you can go to Facebook, their Twitter, their YouTube, whatever. And so take time out and follow these very, very creative people. And don't forget, this book is done by the original, it looks like, Animal Whisperer, our own very Dr. Doolittle. So is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I think you've covered everything quite well. And as you say, that the website name is a little long, but if they go to Facebook and they just put in the Adventurous Squirrels of Cool Waters Cove, whether it's on Facebook or Amazon, it'll come up. They can even put in my name on Amazon and or Google, and it'll come up.
And that's Steve Whysel, and the last name is spelled Whysel, Whysel.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that is totally phenomenal. I love this. I love where it's going. And one last question: this book, age group wise,
2 to 8 years old would be the ballpark.
all right, and it comes in paperback, hardback, ebook, what?
You got it.
I got it. Okay, it comes in all three forms. So there you have it.
And the little trailer teaser video that you showed, I do have the whole story on a voiceover video by the same lovely woman from England. And
she's not 15, is she?
Is she what?
15.
I would not be that forward to ask her age.
I love it. I love it.
The full video I'm making available at no cost to any nonprofit that they feel they can use it. It could be a children's hospital, and so that's something that I feel good about.
Well, hats off to you. If there was an award where I could give somebody for coming out as an author at 81 years old, honey, you would get it from me. This is just adorable, and it warms my heart to know that the elderly community, all right, and the young generation has come together and created such a wonderful children's book. Again, the name of the book is The Adventurous Squirrels of Cool Waters Cove, and it's available on Amazon, ebook, paperback, and audio. And don't forget, folks, if you're a nonprofit, you have free access to it, and you can share with children, whether it's in hospitals, group homes, you name it. So take a good look at this. I'm Dr. Mel, and I want to thank Steve for coming aboard with us today. Thank you, Steve.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.